Hello and greetings from Iceland. It's time to look at new footage from the drone with the thermal camera. And I will actually be making two videos from the footage shot during my recent trip to Reykjavik and the Reykjanes Peninsula. The second video will be online tomorrow, and today we will be looking at the good old location that I have flown over frequently since May 2023, the hottest highway in Iceland. And I'm going to start with a little recap for new viewers because we are talking about road number 1, the Ring Road, where it runs over the plate boundaries on the mountain Hellisheiði, 15 kilometers away from the capital, just beside the central volcano Hengill. That has a nice magma chamber at 3 to 5 kilometers depth that keeps more or less all houses in Reykjavik warm with help from 2 geothermal power stations that produce electricity as well. So there is a lot at stake here, and Hengill is generally considered to be a part of the volcanic systems on the Reykjanes Peninsula, and scientists say that since one of the systems there has already woken up with 12 eruptions since 2021, the others will follow. So we tend to listen when the volcanoes around the city are trying to tell us something. And I'm starting today's journey on the earthquake map, and we can see the hot road here east of the city, and we have 1 year's worth of earthquakes on the map as well. And we can clearly see that the road itself is not very interesting when it comes to seismic activity, at least not the last 12 months. And when we look at the time-lapse I made a while back with a marker on the hot road, and we run the time-lapse from 2009 to 2024, and compare it to the last 12 months, the hot road and its surroundings seems to be very calm now. And no place to be looking for action on the peninsula right now. Or to make this simple, the seismic activity around this location where the ground has been warming up is way less than it has been the last years. The road is, however, still hot, and this started all in 2023 with steam coming up from this rather thick road embankment. And there are still steam pipes under the road venting out some of the heat there, so the asphalt doesn't melt. And that experiment turned out quite well, actually. And what we are seeing there might just be changes in geothermal activity, steam finding new ways to the surface, and such changes, they don't have to mean anything. And I have kept all my files since my first tour, of course. So I have a fairly good set of images to work with if this will develop into something later on. I do, however, have to admit that I would have done things differently, especially the first tours over there in terms of more controlled flights. But during my last tours, I have been trying to follow the same pattern for more accurate results. And this time I took off from the city before dawn, and the drone punished me for too little usage over the last year with a major battery problem, and the 2 first batteries led to 2 emergency landings. I was, however, able to film the most important angle, the wide view, and the geothermal area popped out just as I wanted it before the sun came up. So I got nice contrasts. And when I looked at this footage closer, I cannot see any significant changes when I compare this file to my last tours in 2024. But the results could, of course, change if I would have done close-ups this time, which I didn't. I did, however, discover one anomaly at a location that I know quite well. So I spent the last battery juice to check it out. Or there's a heat spot by this old storage house that is actually surrounded by growing geothermal area. And after a little extra tour, I came back with this remarkable discovery that they have a warm toilet there now, probably set up for the employees of the energy company, unless someone is making whiskey. behind the wall. And my plan is to return later, before the winter is over. When the conditions are better, we still expect a volcanic eruption on the peninsula. So I still expect that I will have to return to the south sooner than later to film that event and hopefully get good conditions to go after other footage, since my channel is always thirsty for something new. And the morning after this tour, after my drone batteries had become more stable after some usage, I took off again to film a fracture that played a part in the April 1st eruption last year. It was my second trip with the thermal drone there, and the results from that tour were very interesting and raised many questions. So after this upload, I'm going to sit down again and make a separate video about that drone tour. And it's not a long video, so it will be online very soon. And with that, I'm sending you best regards from the volcano island, Iceland.